I'm Nick Belanger here with 93.7 The Buzz. You're supposed to
Steve Abusheery. This is 93.7 The Buzz.
So, what do you think about the Bruins' chances of making the playoffs this year?
I'm not really sure. It seems like this whole offseason they took one step forward and took one step back. They didn't make any improvements to the defense. Signing Kevin Miller for a multiple $1 million deal was kind of dumb. And then they signed David Backes, which was size on the line, which they needed. They were getting pushed around physically. But it just, if they were supposed to make the playoffs last year, if they don't choke, we'll see what happens. But right now, it's hard to tell. They kind of are standing in the exact same spot. I'm not really excited about Anton Khudobin coming back. He never really did it for me. I thought Jonas Gustafsson was better. But, we'll see where it goes.
What about Claude Julien? Stay or go?
I'm sick of Claude Julien. If I had to be 100% honest with you, I'm sick of Claude Julien. He makes terrible decisions. Did you see the quote from him when, they were in that losing streak right before the playoffs when they went to the West? Do you know what he said?
I don't. Exactly.
He said, a lot of teams enter slumps. It just happened to be that ours was right near the end of the season.
Yeah.
If you're a coach of even a high school football team, you should be fired for saying something like that.
Sure.
That's ridiculous. I'm sick of his offensive system, of his just pushing it around the boards just over and over again. That just doesn't cut it for me. That and then for it to eventually be hit from the point, that's not a good system for me.
Yeah, being a diehard Bruins fan, I've always loved Claude, but he won us a Stanley Cup. But
I know,
I
but
think it might be time for him to.
the players are different than they were in
That's
2011. It's different people now.
Yeah. Bergeron, the captain, returning for another season. How do you think?
Is Bergeron the captain now, or is it still Chara?
He's assistant captain.
Oh.
Same thing.
Bergeron, I'm happy to have him. He had 30 goals last season. That was big.
Yeah.
If him and Marchand could keep that going, good to see if Marchand got maybe even 40 goals. He had, 36 last season?
Mm-hmm.
That was big. They were considered to one of the top 5 pairings in the, NHL last year behind, Ben and Sagan and Kane and Panarin. That's pretty huge,
Mm-hmm.
And
you can't forget about Pasternak.
No,
star.
I could. And one of the big reason for me why I want Claude Julien gone is because of he won't use Pasternak. It stuck him on the 3rd, 4th line. Just I can't tell you how many games, 5, 6 games stuck him down there.
Yeah.
And then he decides maybe I'll put him back with Spooner or something on the 2nd line. When he starts scoring again, well, when you stick him with just
crap players,
with grinders like Noah Achari and Brett Connolly, you're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah. Last topic, the Bruins defense and Tuukka Rask.
Oh my God. I've always, the first season that the Bruins didn't make the playoffs, I should say. I was one of the biggest advocate for defending Tuukka Rask. But this year, I don't know. He's just, he's either was sick or he was hurt. But there was always an excuse for just mediocre backup goaltender play. I thought Jonas Gustafsson was a good backup, but Tuukka Rask was just utterly disappointing this season. With that Martin Jones trade, we could have had a starting goaltender. We would have been good. Martin Jones was in the Stanley Cup on a Stanley Cup final team, just frustrating. The defense, we needed major rehaul. Chara's old. He's decrepit. Kevin Miller's not a $4 million player. Colin Miller isn't used well enough, not nearly enough. Adam McQuaid has just never been good. Well, he was. I'm not a big fan of McQuaid.
He's kind of a hothead.
Kind of a hothead, and doesn't really. He's slow on his feet. It's like he's wearing cinder blocks on his skates.
Hey, maybe Malcolm Subban will get a chance this year.
Well, we'll see. Malcolm Subban, I haven't really seen a lot from him. He wasn't really great in that one game against St. Louis. We got that other kid too from North Dakota. I don't know, Zane McIntyre, I think his name is.
Oh, okay.
That North Dakota kid, We'll see how it goes, but, overall, the Bruins really didn't make a lot of changes this offseason. I was hoping for more.
Mm-hmm.
They made some big moves last offseason, but, as far as everything, I still love the team. I'll still follow it, but, I guess we just have to see where the season goes.
Yep, we will.
All right. So
Couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
We'll be there.
All right, so this is 93.7 The Buzz. It was nice talking to you.
You too.
Yeah, all right.